Hi readers, welcome to Module 7, Day 14. Today you will need a notebook, pen or pencil, and your worksheets. Our agenda for today is to go over the goals and overview, some vocabulary, reading the Mighty Mars Rovers, and share out our ideas. Our essential question for the module is, what role does curiosity play in exploration? Today's learning mindset is questioning. Can I try this in a different way? Here are our goals. Review vocabulary, identify real-life connections between words and their use, play a game using context clues to define vocabulary words, discuss target vocabulary words, and expand our vocabulary knowledge. Here's our first vocabulary overview. Review the vocabulary cards from this year so far. Below is an example of what they look like. Write down 2 to 3 sentences in your notebook using the vocabulary words from this module. Pause the video so that way you can have time to write down your sentences. Next, we will play a vocabulary game. Guess who? On the next couple of slides, you will receive 3 clues about a vocabulary word. Try to guess the vocabulary word before you go to the next slide. Keep score of how many you get correct. Good luck. All right, are you ready for our first word? Here is the first clue. A person who is blank is real and true to himself or herself, not fake or phony. Clue number 2. I have 3 syllables. Clue number 3. This is the picture that is attached to my word. Can you guess what word it is? Let's find out. The word is authentic. A person who is authentic is real and true to himself or herself, not fake or phony. Did you get it right? Remember, keep score. Here's our second word. Clue number 1. If you blank to something, you agreed to it. Clue number 2. I have 3 syllables. And clue number 3. This is the picture that is attached to my word. Let's think about it. All right, let's see if you got the vocabulary word correct. The word is consented. If you consented to something, you agreed to it. Did you get that one right? All right, let's try a new word. Clue number 1. A person who is blank is very determined to get what he or she wants. Clue number 2. I have 2 syllables. And clue number 3. Here's my picture. All right. Do you think you got this one? Let's see. The word is willful. A person who is willful is very determined to get what he or she wants. Did you get it? Nice job. If you didn't, don't worry. We still have a couple more vocabulary words to go. Here's the next one. Clue number 1. Someone's blank is the place where he or she was born. Clue number 2. I have 2 syllables. And clue number 3. This is my picture. Let's see. All right. Do you think you got it? Let's see if you were correct. Someone's homeland is the place where he or she was born. Homeland was a vocabulary word. Did you get it? All right, let's keep going. Clue number 1, a blank is a feeling of great excitement. Clue number 2, I have 2 syllables. And clue number 3, this is the picture that goes with my word. I'm thinking, what vocabulary word could this be? A fever is a feeling of great excitement. Did you get that one? Don't worry. Fever has multiple definitions, but the definition that we are using is a feeling of great excitement. All right, let's do some reflection. Which words were the hardest to guess and why? Pause the video and think about it. Now let's move on to our reading goals. In this lesson, we're going to analyze how the use of text structure contributes to the author's purpose. Identify organizational patterns. Identify transitional words and phrases that signal an author's organizational pattern. Explain the relationships between two or more events, ideas, or concepts in a text based on specific information. And recognize transitions in words that indicate cause and effect text structure. Are you ready? I'm ready. The first text structure is comparison and contrast. The purpose of this text structure is to describe how things are alike and different. When we see words like but, both, however, and, they tell us that maybe the author is using a compare and contrast structure. The next text structure we're going to focus on is cause and effect. The purpose of this text structure is to explain what happened and why it happened. If we see words like because, so, in order to, or as a result, they signal to our brain that maybe this author is using a cause and effect text structure. Our next text structure is sequential or logical order. The purpose of this text structure is to explain events in time order or order of importance. If we see words like before, first, next, then, last, after, finally, and most importantly, that signals to our brain that maybe this author is using sequential or logical order. The next text structure is problem and solution. This text structure shows us a problem and how it is solved. If we see words in the text like problem, solution, in light of, purpose, and suggest, that signals to our brain that the author is using a problem and solution text structure. All right, now that we've looked at our text structures, let's take a look at our book, The Mighty Mars Rovers, The Incredible Adventures of Spirit and Opportunity. Remember, we're focusing on cause and effect text structure. Please turn to the page 160 in your Know It, Show It book. I'm going to be doing some thinking work out loud. While I am doing some thinking work, I also want you to be thinking about the questions that I'm going to be asking myself. Alrighty, let's apply our understanding of text structure to paragraph 30 on page 130 of The Mighty Mars Rovers. Remember, I'm looking at the questions in order to answer about cause and effect. Number 1. What cause and effect relationships does the author explain in paragraph 30? Well, first I need to think about, what is this book telling us about? Then I need to look at paragraph 30. I'm noticing that it's talking about Spirit shutting herself down. I can start off this sentence by saying, the cause and effect relationship that the author explains in paragraph 30 is that the rover named Spirit was not communicating with NASA, which could have been caused by a variety of events happening to her. In this answer, I made sure to restate my question. Question number 2. What is the author's purpose in all of the maybe statements in the paragraph? Why would an author use maybe? That must mean he's unsure. Or maybe there's no definite answer. Let me go back into the text. Maybe Spirit had shut herself down to cool off. Maybe her batteries were too low. Maybe the software had failed. I'm seeing a trend. I could answer this question by saying, the author's purpose in using the maybe statements is to let the readers know that there is not one specific action that could have caused the Spirit rover to not communicate with the NASA center. This is letting me know that there's more than one reason, or could be more than one reason. And finally, the last question. What does the author's use of cause and effect text structure in this narrative help you understand about the work NASA scientists do? Well, when I answer this question, I can restate it by saying, when the author uses the cause and effect text structure in the narrative, it helps the reader understand that the work NASA scientists do is not an exact science, and there could be a lot of actions that affect missions to other planets. All right, you see me do some thinking work, and I had to go back in the text in order to get some answers. Now it's your turn to try. You can set up your notebook in a cause and effect text structure if you would like. We're going to be looking back inside of the book and seeing if there are other cause and effect relationships that we have found. You're going to focus on writing a paragraph or two explaining what happened and why. Pause the video if you need to copy this structure down inside of your notebook. Pause the video if you need to in order to remember the goal for this independent practice. Let's do some reflection. What other paragraphs did you find cause and effect in? How did you know that it was a cause and effect structure that the author was using? Did you see any signal words while you were reading? Let's reflect on our learning by sharing how we used our understanding of text structure during our independent work time. Do you remember the 4 text structures authors can use in their work? Why do you think authors use these text structures in their writing? Pause the video and jot some ideas down to these 2 questions. If you don't quite remember the 4 text structures, remember that you can rewind this video to go back and see what the 4 text structures are. Have a good day!